John, we're coming off the back of a fantastic win against Ajax. What's the mood like in the camp now?
Obviously very positive, vibrant. The boys are, delighted with the way the game went, the performance and the results. So, it's a happy camp. It's a good place to be at the minute. So hopefully we can, build on what we did against Ajax, take it into the cup game coming up and on thereafter.
You fair to say that was your best performance in Europe so far?
Yeah, definitely. We've had it coming. We've had spells and games where we've looked apart. We've played some good stuff. But it seemed to click together nicely the other day, and obviously first half performance was probably as good as we've been all season. Even the league and everything else that goes with it was, everything just went quite smoothly for us. We got the goals at the right times, and the game plan worked perfectly. So it was good, especially getting into half time with a 3-0 lead. It does take a bit of pressure off the players. They can relax a little bit more, but obviously they knew the second half they still had to go and do it. And when Ajax get the early goal, it kind of sets you in the back foot a wee bit, but they responded well, and that shows the character and resilience they've got. So they obviously got the fourth goal, and then it was game over by that point. So just had to see it out. So delighted with the all-round performance, and hopefully we can, as I say, build on that.
Compared to Milan and Barcelona, was the way you started the game, pressing Ajax very high up the pitch, was that kind of central to the win, do you think?
Possibly. I think it was possibly a part to play, but every game we take in its own merit. We felt that we could do that against Ajax, against Barcelona. From previous experience, we did press Barcelona high up the pitch the last time we played them, and we were 3-0 down within 15 minutes. So, it's getting the balance, and some teams or some games you can do it depending on personnel you have and opposition you're playing. Other games you have to maybe, look at a different strategy. And we've certainly felt that, against Ajax we could get higher up the pitch, because they aren't a team that will look to play in behind straight from the goalkeeper or from the centre backs. They will look to pass. So we thought we could, take that opportunity to try and win the ball higher up the pitch. It worked well for us, and that's, all down to the players carrying it out. It's great for me and Stevie to, sit back and watch them carry out the work that we've worked on in the training ground. And when it comes together, it's good for us and it's good for the players.
You pick out so many players throughout that game, but I think we got a really big performance on the day from Denny Johnson, playing as a lone striker up against two fairly experienced Ajax defenders. Yeah,
he was a credit. He's been working really hard. I think in the last 6 months to 12 months, Denny's made, vast improvements in his game. But he's still got a bit to go. He's still got a bit to learn in the game. But the way he's performing at the minute, he's certainly in a good vein of form, rich vein of form, and hopefully he can carry that on for us because he's becoming a key player for us. He's certainly, developed this holding the ball in a lot better than he used to. Denny had a habit sometimes of trying to, flick things and do pirouettes, and every now and again it looked great and it wouldn't come off, but he's certainly learning, he's listening to what the coaches have got to say, and he's working hard at his game. The amount of times he took the ball in under pressure and kept it for us, and if that doesn't happen, then it makes the game a hell of a lot tougher. It lets us get up the pitch and it lets our midfield then support the play. And he's not just that though, he's got great athleticism, really strong boy, and when he opens his legs up, we try to encourage him to use his pace more because he's quick. Sometimes he can be a bit deceptive. He doesn't probably look the quickest, but when he's up and running, he's a quick boy. So, he's certainly got a lot to offer. And if he keeps developing the way he's going, then hopefully he'll blossom into a good player.
Another good performance was Stuart Finlay, and it seemed so harsh that Ajax goal would come from a misfortunate kick from him.
Yeah, he's probably a bit unfortunate. I think we've seen the goal again as well, and obviously the defender, it's difficult when you're facing your own goal, defending a cross. It's probably try to get into that start position a little bit quicker, but again, Stuart's been great for us. He's obviously been a little bit unfortunate previously with obviously he scored the own goal, but he gave away the penalty as well. But he's learning. Stuart's learning, and he's made the step up to under 21 football with the national team, and did well there. So again, he's a young player, he's developing, and as long as he keeps developing, then that's all we can ask at the minute.
As a defender yourself, is it interesting maybe to see when things like that happen, that it does help you actually grow in character and helps you in your next performance?
I think it's to learn from. I think that's the most important thing, is that he learns that, as much as you might say it's unfortunate or anything else, that he sees where he could maybe prevented that, in the same way other situations in the game. Not just him, but all the players, there'll be situations in the game when they could have done better with different things. As long as they look at that and think, right, what should have been the outcome, or what should have been the way I dealt with that situation, then that's a learning curve for them. Because when you go into the first team, you don't get as many chances. It can be very an environment where you must go and perform. Mistakes are highlighted. And if it's a game or a goal that costs you a game, then you can become a scapegoat. So it's important that they learn at this level, so when they step up to first team that, you know, the mistakes are at a minimum, and obviously they go and shine. But you know, it's great. They're a great bunch to work with at the minute. You know, not just himself. You know, O'Connell's another one who, you know, him and Stuart have formed a really good partnership. You know, and it kind of gives us, you know, that foundation at the back to build on, and the rest of the players then go and flourish.